Okay, so next in this unofficial series that I'm doing, this is, I believe, the 5th deck on my shelf. This is the Tarot of Oneness. So I'm going to see what message this deck has for you today. And in trying to do this, I will pick the next deck and put it on my table until I'm able to make the video. So sometimes these decks are on my table for a few days. So it's going to take me a bit to get through the other 30-something of them. Okay, wow, okay, so the cards are already wanting to come out and I haven't even finished shuffling yet. I just literally put a stack back in and then the Magician came out anyway. Like, interestingly, I'm hearing I said what I said. I don't know how that makes sense here, but... So right out of the gate, your magic is being highlighted, or the power that you are capable of. Crossing that is 2 of Pentacles. I feel like you've always been one to carry certain burdens. I also feel like there's this energy of you not letting the rest of the world know how much you're struggling with something. And you oftentimes carry really emotionally and mentally heavy things alone. And I don't think people truly know you sometimes because of that face that you present to the world. Okay. Struggling to know when to ask for help because you've always had to depend on yourself. But something about this magic, this Magician, it's almost like, because like they say, what is stronger in 3s or something like that? And even though this is 2 of Pentacles, there are 3 pins or whatever they are. I don't really think they're like bowling pins, but the foundation is the Hierophant. There's a very traditional religious foundation here. And I think that's interesting because we have the Magician. It feels like you were programmed with traditional religion, but the more you find yourself, you find your own magic, and I feel like that strays you away from that traditionally religious path. And I feel like that has actually caused you a lot of grief and a lot of ripples within your family unit. Because I feel like you were raised a certain way, but like you see things so much differently than you were told. Like, you don't see the world the same way that you were told it was. You found your truth for yourself, and you no longer just swallow whatever's given to you. But there's a key here. Even though you maybe don't subscribe in a way that you did or a lot of people do, there's still something, there's a key here. There's a key in traditional religion to help you unlock your magic. What the fuck am I talking about? This is not where I thought this was going to go. Not that I really had any preconceived notions, but okay. What's the rest of the situation here, please? What is the rest of the story? And I feel like that's part of it. Your story is still being told. It's still being written. The story is not finished. And it's interesting, they are wanting to come out in chunks like that. Passing influence is perspective, which is the Hanged Man in this deck. So yeah, I feel like, again, you don't see things the same way you were raised to see them. You no longer just eat whatever you're given. You question things. You question authority, but you question yourself. You don't just take it at face value. On your mind is the Action of Wands. That's Knight of Wands. passion and action. And it's literally, that's what's on your mind, figuring out the next move to make. This is a very physical thing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be specifically doing something. It could also be stopping doing something, just however that applies for you. But there's some action that it's on your mind. I mean, it's been on your mind. I feel like you're being guided in a specific direction, but maybe the advice is coming from an unexpected source or place, so you're feeling a little bit like questionable or confused about it. You have something on your mind, something that you've heavily been thinking of, like something that you've probably been wrestling with yourself about for a while. Something very specific for you. Again, action you're needing to take, or something you're needing to stop, or something. The near future is the Ten of Swords. That's kind of brutal. I mean, even with the brutality of it all, the worst has happened and now you can move on. Or like, that's the near future, so the worst is about to happen. Well, that sounds depressing as hell. How are you going to do that to me? How are you going to make me deliver that shit? The thing with the Ten of Swords is, it really is this, I'm hearing breaking point, but it really is this point where you can completely cut something off and change directions. Like you can literally walk away free and clear, but at the same time, it cost you something. And I feel like that's what this is. It's about weighing the cost of something. How much it will cost you versus how much you will gain. Also, oftentimes this is seen as the martyr card. So it's like knowing what you're sacrificing, knowing when you're being the martyr and what you're being the martyr for. Like not just allowing yourself to be sacrificed for no good reason. Again, knowing the cost. Like being very precise with the checks and balances of the equation. Because I feel like even with this Two of Pentacles here, you're a lot more calculated, I think, than people recognize. You're always like weighing the pros and cons of things. It's also this dual perspective. You can see both sides of the situation, both sides of the coin. So I feel like there are people who potentially could deeply underestimate you because they don't know you're literally always like, you're literally always thinking. You're always weighing things. You're always perceiving new things. Like this shit may seem casual, but your mind is just vast and deep and busy. The way you see the situation is the Ten of Cups. Okay, you're just trying to be happy. Just looking for your happily ever after here. And I feel like you're realizing that you're the one that has to create that. Your responsibility is your happiness. Other people's happiness is their own responsibility. Other people see Inspiration of Wands. I feel like that tracks because that's a Page of Wands. But I feel like there's almost this imitation energy here. And on the unhealed aspect of that, it could be like a monitoring spirit of some kind, always trying to get more information. But I feel like you inspire other people. And it's very much related to whatever this Knight is, this action on your mind. They're related. You just have this natural way about you. It's like when you walk into a room, even if you're like seemingly unobtrusive, like not dressed flashy, not being loud, just simply walking in, there's something about your energy that speaks so much louder than you. And because, like, when you walk in that room, the energy instantly shifts, and everyone in that room can feel it. Some will know why, some will not. But you literally shift the energy of each room you walk into. And like people feel that. You can't not. I mean, you can ignore it and try to, play games and play dumb and whatever. But like that don't fly. The emotions of the situation is awakening, which is also judgment in this deck. And I do feel like there is a specific calling. There's an awakening happening, and it's very much in the emotional space. And I feel like it's also you kind of redefining what your happiness looks like, what it feels like for you, what a day in your perfect life would look and feel like, knowing that. I don't think you necessarily expect that, but you're trying to build as close to it as possible. So it's like you're kind of mapping out the details here. You're being called towards something. But I also feel like on a larger perspective, on a larger level, you're being asked to take care of yourself in some way. I feel like part of that action is in care for yourself in some way. Learning to do things that your future self would thank you for. Because you are outgrowing past versions of you. You're outgrowing relationships and timelines and even like the collective stories that we've all been given. I feel like you're just redefining everything. We only need one, please. That was 3 that was trying to come out, so I feel like there's options. Again, this story the rest is still unwritten. It's not finished being written. You're still writing the ending. You're still figuring out what your happiness looks like, what it feels like, what it means for you. You're still redefining yourself. And it's okay not to have all of the answers, but it is important not to sacrifice yourself, especially blindly. If you're going to be the martyr, know exactly what you're being the martyr for. If you're going to allow yourself to be a sacrifice, know exactly what for. But also there is this level of needing to leave something, needing to let it go, to let go of those pain cycles so that you can create new. Again, this emotional awakening, recognizing that you don't deserve to be treated like that anymore. To be betrayed and manipulated and breadcrumbed and abandoned and gaslit and sacrificed and minimized and diminished and silenced, and no. Final outcome is the embodiment of cups, the King of Cups. That's so interesting because of that emotional awakening, and this is emotional embodiment. That is a really fast progression there. It feels like, especially because this 5 of Cups is the overall energy, so it feels like there is this heaviness, and it feels like you're being called towards something, and maybe this something feels or seems like it's actually really big, like it's actually a lot of work, that it's going to take you a long time. But the reality is, it's going to come so much quicker than you think. Like, so much quicker than you think. Awareness is key, so there's something in the awakening. You're not being asked to instantly go out and fix everything and be 100% perfect every day, starting right now. Like, that's not how it is. But it's like there is an awareness of like, okay, well, that's still kind of, not really working in my life, not really making me happy, not really aligned or balanced or something I want to change. You're being made aware of things, of places in your life that you're still allowing yourself to be unhappy or still allowing yourself to be around people that contribute to your unhappiness. But those things are showing you, giving you opportunities to choose differently. And it seems like it's just this huge shift, but the reality is it's not. You literally just have to look up and look around. The answers are all right there. You just can't see them because of the lens that you're looking through. And that's the thing, is it's just the lens you're looking through. It's just the lens. But all you can see is the rainy day outside. You don't see the opportunity to nest and cozy up inside, to get things inside done. The perspective is what we are missing out on outside. It's just shifting your perspective. Under that is present moment, an extra card in this deck, which is all about being present and being in the moment and knowing, above all else, that's exactly where your true power comes from. The power of your presence, the power of this moment. The past is gone. The future is not yet here. It's always just this moment. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. It's just this moment. Time is the illusion. Interestingly, because of this deck, the Oneness, the Tarot of Oneness, I felt called to pull from the Time Traveler's Oracle. So I'm going to do that because I really don't know why I felt so called, but like I instantly knew I was going to use this deck. And I'm not surprised because I've kind of talked about like you're outgrowing timelines and stories and people and boundaries, the Great Wall of China. And then on the bottom is vast vistas, nomads, steppes of Mongolia. Boundaries and vast vistas. I do feel like you had to learn boundaries. You had to learn to protect yourself. And I feel like that's what you're still in the process of, learning boundaries with specific people or in specific situations in your life. Because I feel like those are the situations that have been so deeply ingrained. They are the ones that seem the hardest to deal with or heal because they are so fucking deep. And like they're also like woven into the collective story, so that makes it even harder to unravel and unwind and find the truth of. But I feel like you're finding yourself, finding your boundaries, finding your worth, but there's also, you're finding a whole new world, a whole new perspective, a whole new possibility. Okay, let's see what the book says. So 4 and 43. So 443. Boundaries, messages from the Great Wall of China. Okay, I'm just going to read this since there's only 2 cards. Today's time traveling takes us to the Great Wall of China in the year 1600 CE. The size of this is almost unbelievable. It's estimated to be 13,000 miles long. There are some places where it's too narrow for anyone to walk along its crest, other places where only a single person can walk along the top, and other places where 10 warriors could walk shoulder to shoulder. It was built as a fortification against the nomadic tribes from the Eurasian steppe. How fucking wild that we're literally right here. That's crazy. Literally, this was built right here. Okay. You're very clearly being shown where you need to put boundaries in your life and what situations. Like, as soon as the question forms, you're immediately given the answer. It says, we decide to walk on the wide part of this wall, which originally was a series of walls. It feels powerful and mighty to see this strong fortified wall go as far as the eye can see in both directions. Undulating over mountains and valleys, a man is up in one of the watchtowers. He looks down on us, but we just wave. He waves back and allows us to continue. The time traveler's message: having personal boundaries can give you a sense of control over the physical space around you, your body, and your feelings. It means that you establish what feels best for your own destiny and clearly express this to others, kindly yet firmly. It's not only important to maintain boundaries with others, but also in regard to personal decisions about your actions and behaviors in life. And before I finish that, that's what I'm feeling also is boundaries with yourself, because that could be part of the action that you're needing to take, needing to put some boundaries on yourself, on some things about you that are out of control or unchecked. But those are things only you know. You know those answers too. This card suggests that it's time to examine your boundaries in life to make certain that they are neither too rigid nor too slack. And I feel like you're going to see there are some areas where your boundaries seriously need some fortification. But you're also going to see there are other places that your boundaries are just fine. And it's okay. Boundaries are allowed to change. But periodically check in with yourself to make sure everything's still as it should be for you. It's also important to communicate openly with others what your boundaries are, so they don't need to make assumptions or second guess them. Walk your talk and speak your truth with kindness. Others will appreciate you for this, and your soul will thank you. And that's what's most important, is your soul will thank you for being honest and speaking up about your boundaries. Okay, the next one is Vast Vistas, messages from Nomad Steppes of Mongolia. We are visiting Mongolian nomads on the plateau of Central Asia, an area currently landlocked between China and Russian Siberia. Here the sky is incredibly expansive. It feels like we can see forever on these vast vistas. We feel a sense of freedom here as we travel with a tribe following their reindeer. These nomadic people have lived here for thousands of years, migrating the immense grassy plains, mountainous regions, upland steppes, and deserts of Mongolia. The reindeer of the nomads we are with are always on the move, searching for their food of wild grasses and lichen? I don't know how to say the word. So the people are constantly moving too. Some herders migrate less often, some moving only with the seasons. Every time we stop, we set up a camp. In the middle of the night, when we step outside the yurt, it seems that there can be no other place with such a vast expanse of the heavens. In the morning, as we stomp our feet on the ground to warm up, the horizons seem to stretch in every direction, seemingly all the way to eternity. Now, the thing, before I finish the time traveler's message, or before I read that part of this, I want to say what I'm thinking of is I would be severely remiss not to mention that there is definitely a conspiracy theory that the Great Wall of China was not built as a boundary from outsiders, but like the people of Tartaria perhaps built it to protect themselves from the people on the other side. Some people say the stations face the wrong direction or whatever. But if they're saying, oh, well, we're protecting ourselves from these nomads here. But like the nomads, if they would be what could be considered Tartaria on the old maps. Because wouldn't that be part of like Russia and Asia right there? So I also, further into that little rabbit hole, is I was kind of talking about how you no longer identify with something that was given to you as your truth. There's something that's been hidden and erased from history, and you are uncovering evidence of that erasure in your life. Like in your life, in your spiritual life, your emotional, whatever, your life, you're basically uncovering your own version of Tartarian truth, because you're seeing the remnants of your truth, but you've been gaslit and systematically fucking denied and lied to your whole life. So this is a whole like unknown process, and people are going to call you weird and crazy, and you're definitely going to have to go your own way to uncover the truth that was erased from your history. The truth they tried to steal from you, they tried to take from you, because somehow it's still there. Because they can't take it away from you. Whatever you were born with, or you were seeds planted by the divine, they can't erase you. They can't take away who you are. Just head first into that rabbit hole. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that. That's my perspective on that, if you want to look at the conspiracy theory side of life. Okay. So vast vistas, the time traveler's message, widen your horizons to see the bigger picture, which I feel like you've done before, but you definitely need to do that again. And that's part of this, the evolution of you, these naturally shifting perspectives and viewpoints. They evolve just like the rest of you does. This is not the time to think small. Think outside the box. That's wild, because I said it's the lens you're looking through. You're feeling trapped where you're at, but you don't know. Eventually, the rain will end and you can go outside and the world is yours again. And in fact, you can go outside right now and dance in the rain. It doesn't have to be a hindrance. It's a choice. It's a perspective. So it's your perspective of something that's holding you back. Okay. There is the potential of big changes ahead. Be willing to be unconventional in projects, relationships, and ideas. Yes, because that goes along with kind of what I've been saying about doing it your way and stepping outside of the norm of society and the expectations of others and marching to the beat of your own drum. Know that you can choose any direction you desire, but before you go forward, look in all directions to see the potential outcomes. Again, because you have this dual perspective to where you can see both sides of the you can see so much further than you realize. You just have to stop, scout it out. With everything, with the boundaries you're creating, with the boundaries you have, with the actions that you're wanting to take, like scout it out. Just take a minute and scout it out. And then move, make your move. Vast vistas are ahead for you. It's easy to get caught up in the small details of life and forget the bigger view. Something unexpected may be sneaking up behind you, but if you are ready for it, it won't wobble your life. I feel like that's this Ten of Swords. Something unexpected may sneaking up behind you, but you are so much more secure in who you are. You know who the fuck you are. You don't have to ask other people to validate you. You're just this incredible well of strength and compassion and wisdom and fucking greatness. But that doesn't mean, I was like, why did I say that? That doesn't mean that life's going to be perfect and great all the time. But I also have this, I have this thought that when you get intuitive nudges about things, so like when things happen, a part of you isn't completely surprised. So like when this Ten of Swords comes to a head, a part of you is not going to be surprised at all. Because you've already been bracing yourself for this. Because you've already like evolved past this timestamp. I don't know what I mean, but that's what I want to say. You've evolved past this timestamp, this timeline, this story. Like you're so done with this shit, you're in the middle of rewriting your story. And it can still hurt, but it doesn't have to take you the fuck out. Like it doesn't have to completely incapacitate you. Let it hurt your feelings, let it teach you something, and move the fuck on. Don't stay in that shitty situation. Don't try to convince people how to treat you better. Just fucking leave. Demand it and fucking leave. Or make a plan to leave if it's going to take more than just walking away. When you view life from a great perspective, you can make the best decisions. This is a time of expansion and even a time of travel and new adventures. If you receive an opportunity to travel, go for it. If you can step into a different direction in life, don't hesitate. Take it. So I feel like you could potentially be offered a detour here. And I feel like whatever it is, it's very aligned, because as much as you are prioritizing your own happiness, Spirit is doing that for you as well. Because as much as you in the past have deprioritized your own happiness, Spirit's like, oh, okay, if you say so. But now you're putting yourself on that list, a little higher on that list, and Spirit's like, okay, I see you. It's a match. I'll match your energy. Not the lies you tell yourself, but it's about matching, walking the talk. Spirit will match that and say, okay. This next one is just, it's a printable deck of affirmations that I got on Etsy. I don't even know. Probably over a year ago. So I can't really remember what it's called. But I think it's affirmations. So we've got those. And then I feel like I just want to shuffle again and see that and that. Okay. So here's what we got. I am able to remain calm. Keep calm. Especially when this Ten of Swords moment happens, when this betrayal or this emotional brutality, whatever it is. Remain calm. Because that's also the energy here of taking a second to catch your breath and to take a really good look around. Do not rush into the next phase. Don't just pick a path just to pick one. Know where the fuck you're going and make sure that it's actually aligned. So stay calm. Do it in a calm. You don't rush. You've got time. You've got plenty of time. You think whatever this undertaking is that you're thinking of is going to take so long, it's going to be so hard and so much work. No, it's not. Be calm. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's going to be so much easier than you actually think it is. I am choosing to honor my flaws. Yes. Because you don't have to be perfect to be amazing. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. And in fact, nobody's perfect. That's not even a truth. It's not even a real thing. It's an illusion. The perfection is the illusion itself. And so much of this life has been busting out of those illusions, finding the truth for yourself. Honor that. Honor your weaknesses, honor your imperfections, honor your flaws. Because sometimes those show you exactly what you're capable of. How you have survived everything you've been through. Yeah, it's not perfect. Sometimes it's not pretty, but it's authentically you, and that's what matters. I am respectful of the opinions of others. Sometimes I feel like it's really hard to be respectful of other people's opinions because generally I think other people are fucking stupid. They're just so fucking stupid. And there's such a large majority of the population that is just stupid and asleep. So it's just full-on ignorance. But I am me. I am you, you are me, everything is everything, it's all a mirror, a reflection, and all the same divine source. Even the fucking stupid people. But I think in learning to be more tolerant of the things I dislike about other people, it really teaches me to be more tolerant of the things I dislike about myself. Because therein is why we judge, because we're judging ourselves, so we're judging all those reflections of ourselves. Allow other people to have opinions that are wildly different from yours. Even if in your heart of hearts you know they're fucking stupid and fucking wrong, let them be. Respect that they have their own mind, that they have their own opinion. Even if that opinion was given to them by somebody else and they just chose to keep that as your truth, Their journey is not your own. Your journey is not theirs. Do not compare. Just try to be respectful of their opinions. And if you can't, then try to keep your distance so you don't fucking shove your fist down their throat for being an idiot. I am abundant because, baby, you are the abundance. You are the keeper of the magic, the keeper of the keys. You are the key. I am unique and do not compare myself to others. Yeah, because other people are not on your journey. They are not on your same path of awakening and awareness. And some people simply do not have the intelligence to even get close to who or where you are. Comparison really is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to others because your journeys are not the same. Don't steal that joy from yourself. Because the thing is, you never really know what it's like. Because sometimes from the outside, everything looks so great and perfect. They don't know the inside that you go through. They don't know the hell you've lived through that has basically built the strength that you are now. I am aware of the strength my voice has, yeah, because you are the voice of a generation. And that's the thing, is the journey that you've been through. It's so much of the healer's journey. Healing yourself and finding all the pieces that were lost and stolen along the way and reclaiming that and recognizing your fucking greatness. There is so much power in your voice. I'm actually hearing the word activated, so it could be a throat chakra activation, but literally your words have power. Your voice has power. And I am aware of the power my intentions hold. Okay, because we've been talking about your voice, I would even go so far as to say stating your intentions out loud, knowing the power that holds. Because I feel like that's part of you rewriting your story. Again, I heard Natasha Bedingfield, the rest is still unwritten. Your story isn't finished. But I feel like you are in a critical phase of restructuring your internal perspective. That's long, but it feels specific. Restructuring your internal perspective. You're seeing like nothing's changing. Everything's the same except you. Your perspective is evolving and shifting. And in that shift, you literally unlock something and awaken even more to your own power, your own strength. So I guess that's what I got for you. Your happiness is your responsibility, and I'm really, really proud of you for taking the power of that responsibility into your own hands. I know it hasn't been easy, and you've probably been called selfish for choosing yourself, but I'm really, really proud of you for doing that. Your happiness matters. Your voice matters. I love you. I hope that helped.